sit around and do nothing. He gets one vulture in, but there are cannons all over the place, and one of the effects of having so many bases up is that you can afford to just throw cannons down everywhere to secure yourself against Terran. Huge number of gateways, 12 there, 2 more going down at the top left, and I think a couple at the top right. So even if SuNy pushes out, and he's now got a science vessel out, but even if he pushes out and wins one crucial battle, it won't matter because Young will be able to pump just a ridiculous number of forces. A single vulture there might pick off a couple of SCVs coming into the top left, but this is just a gigantic force now that Young has out in the middle. Pretty good force mix, not a ton of tech units on the ground. I don't see a lot of High Templar there, but he does have the Arbiters out, and I think he has pretty good upgrades. I haven't checked, but he's had those forges spinning for a while. So, well, you can see how many control groups he's cycling through, and the gateways are pumping. Resolution here isn't high enough for me to see what his population's at, but he's got to be very close to maxed out. And now, finally, SuNy is going to push out into the middle with these tanks. He does have a big force. Oh, recall coming in. Lots of turrets there. More turrets in the back. We'll see if this recall does get off. No, it doesn't. So nothing there, and I don't think it would have been a very successful recall because there were lots of tanks back there to crush Young's forces when they got recalled into that very dense back area of the base. But maybe just as well for Young because now he's just got those extra forces out in the middle to deal with this push that's coming in. And we'll see if he can catch those tanks in transition. They're just sieging up now, and oh, very, very clumped up. And we'll see if he can get 2 good storms off, 3 good storms, I think. Well, excellent storms on that huge cluster of tanks. He's almost out of zealots, but virtually no Goliaths or vultures left. And Young is forced back. He lost a significant number of troops there, but he also took out a lot of tanks, and I think he'll be able to replace his losses very quickly. You can see the zealots just streaming out of those gateways, and he'll have his zealot force back up in just one cycle through all those gates. Wow, and even more, 9 gateways up at the top. He hasn't waypointed them yet, or rally pointed them, so he ought to do that, but SuNy's being very indecisive with his force in the middle. Good zealot bomb in the back, and another one coming in here. Wow, wiping out 3 tanks. Great. Wow, 5 tanks going down to just a couple of zealots there. So excellent job by Young. And Young is really playing an impressive game here. He got an early lead, and he's just been milking it, so he hasn't had to do anything too spectacular. Now he's pressing in with an overwhelming force, and SuNy's forces are really separated. The Terran does want to keep their forces not all in a huge clump, but certainly more concentrated than this. And there's the clump of tanks, but probably half of SuNy's tank force was distributed in 1s and 2s down there to the south, and it's been wiped out. So SuNy really doesn't have very much left in the middle, and as soon as it gets rolled over, SuNy's going to have to GG or have his bases wiped off the map by this gigantic force that Young is able to pump. But anyhow, as I say, Young didn't have to do anything spectacular to take this game once he got that initial lead with the 14 necks, and then with the successful push into SuNy's base. But even so, he's been playing a very good textbook macro game, getting up lots of bases while still maintaining a good army. 4th base trying to go down now for SuNy, but it won't matter. Even if he can hold that base, he'll still be far behind economically, and I don't think he'll be able to, just given that well, this force in the middle is basically pinned down by this much larger force that's confronting it. Good position here. Well, very good position here for SuNy, and it is going to turn back Young's forces temporarily. But I think that SuNy's mined out at 2 of his 3 bases in the bottom left corner. So he's now just mining off 2 bases as opposed to something like 4 or 5, I think, for Young, who's now gotten that 1 o'clock position up and running too. A few gateways in the top left, and something was attacking there. Oh, and now here comes the push into the middle, and the tanks are going down. The tanks were in a bad position there on open ground without a lot of vulture support, and they're okay. Well, more in the back, and they're going to temporarily turn back this force. But really, I think Young could move in if he wanted to. He hasn't stasis yet at all that I've seen, and he really ought to make some use of that. He's got several arbiters out, and there've been lots and lots of clusters of tanks that would be very easily stasis. So I don't know why he hasn't cast any stases so far. But in any event, Arbiter heading in now. I'm not sure what he's going to do with that. He might just recall right on top of those tanks. No, he does stasis, finally. And now he's going to move in while those tanks are stasis. Hopefully one or two more stases will go down. We'll see. Zealot's absorbing a lot of mines. And another stasis does go down, so only a couple tanks left. And those last tanks, I'm not sure I think he'll just sit there and wait for them to come out of stasis. Shuttle taking some unnecessary damage from a turret. Oh, and it does go down. So, bad move there. Oh, and it looks like SuNy did attempt to clear out that top left. I'm not sure if he took anything down. Probably took down a gateway or two. But, no dice there. And, now Young is pushing into this fourth base of SuNy's, and once it goes down, SuNy's going to have virtually no economy. Another command center is building there. Okay, Storm going down on some of those tanks. And, Zealot's in the back now, and this is pretty much it for SuNy. I think he's been out of this game for a while, but this is the point where he's really going to have no economy left, and huge economy still pumping units for Young. And I think more Zealots coming in the back. SuNy's going to have to GG very soon. So, well played game on the whole by Young, and I think he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. We'll see how he does against some higher level competition than he's experienced in this game. But on the whole, impressive performance, and this is going to even the setup at 1-1. In the first game, Songho took down for GG in a little bit of an upset, but for GG overcommitted to a drop strategy on Medusa, and I think persisted with it after it had stopped working, and so he went down, and that cost Lecaf the first game. But now Young is going to take the second game and even things up at 1-1. A few tanks pressing in, but it's 3 tanks against about a control group each of Dragoons and Zealots. And there's the GG. So, good game, impressive performance from Young, and I'll see you in Game 3. This has been Hamilcar. Bye.